Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So let me get a few things on the screen. Whew. I was doing some self-care this morning. Totally like moisturizing my face, and the most intense conversation began, and I was just like, dismissing it. I was having a conversation with Mikey, and as I'm having this conversation with Mikey and he's like telling me all of these things, he then is like, fine, you don't want to listen. And I was like, not really. Using my facial wand to try and drain some of my lymph nodes and just really get myself detoxing a lot more efficiently. And he goes, okay, fine, then don't listen. And I was like, okay. That's how a lot of conversations with Michael go. He asked me if I'm really not going to listen, and I say no. And then he says, fine. And then what ends up happening is I start to have these epiphanies. And I was having some epiphanies regarding a lot of the situations that have been going on. So this reading is going to be a very intense reading for those who have been dealing with certain types of things. Maybe the types of things that you've been dealing with is other people. Maybe it's a circumstance. Maybe it's you being wronged in some way, and you've kind of just been taking it and just kind of having this logic of, if I'm patient enough, eventually whoever will get bored and they'll move on, and then they'll leave me alone. They'll leave me in my peace. And that hasn't happened. And so, as a Piscean, I totally go through that less and less these days, but I do still totally go through that. This thing of, I don't want to react or respond. I'm kind of just let them do their thing. Eventually they'll get bored and they'll move forward and leave you alone. Well, some other guardian or guide or whatever it is, I don't talk to my soul team. I'm telling you, they get so tired of my stuff because I completely ignore all of that. The only one that is really difficult to ignore is Michael, because he's right here all the time. He's just so present all the time. So he's the only one that I struggle to ignore. And quite a few other like guardians and guides came forward, and they're basically like, you need to mentally prepare for the corrections that will occur. And it's this thing of like, it's not me being corrected. It's this thing of me needing to prepare to be okay with witnessing the correction that is taking place. And I was just like, well, that's ill. That is ill. And then I started to ignore them, right? And as I ignored them, one of my most favorite ways to ignore spiritual messages is to begin scrolling on TikTok. And one of my guides and guardians' favorite ways to slide the messages in is TikTok. So then comes this, like, the first thing I saw on my screen this morning. It was on my FYP, and I just kind of want to share it with you guys because it's absolutely a reiteration of what my guardians and guides were saying. And they've kind of been saying this for the past few days, to be honest. Today, though, it reached a fever pitch. And I feel strongly it is not just me that this message is going to resonate for. Okay. So let's, all right.
I have a message for, this is actually a two-part message. For some of you, this is going to be a confirmation. And I just heard this is a plea for the others. You know. You know. And they know you know. I just heard they were already busted. And somehow you either found out or you're going to find out. This eclipse is going to reveal some shit to you. We're in Scorpio season and it's going to be like intense. I'm looking out my window at a street light and it's like a yellowy fluorescent light, but it's in the sign of like a cross. This person, they're about to be crucified for what they've done to you. My light just flashed. I don't know if you saw that. And they so don't want you to know. But you already know. And they really want to know if you know. So I'm here to tell you. I know. We know. We've already been shown by our guides and yours. You've been shown mercy by us. My right hand is like on fire right now, all through the thenar area. This pinky on the right hand, this is fear. This is fear.
That's also the pathway for the meridian for the heart. Pericardium goes through this pathway right here, the region she's pointing at.
It is leaving my body. Should be leaving yours too. I can feel it in my thumb as well. Whatever you've been holding on to, drop that shit. It's a fucking hot potato.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the perpetrator. I hear you're being given one last chance to own up, to come clean, to admit your shit before you meet the wrath. The wrath of your maker. Your undoing. Your own undoing. I hear judgment's been called. It's over for you. If you're not already locked up or in purgatory, I heard pack a bag. I send whoever this is love and compassion, because if you came against a divine one, you have no idea what's coming for you. You're shown mercy by
Hold on.
I have a message.
No. So that's her TikTok profile in case you guys want to go. I don't know what other videos she has. This is my first time viewing her. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Everything she said literally was a reiteration of the conversations that were already being had, right? The conversations that I was already having with my spirit guides, with all of that. I mean, I don't know if it applies to your life and the way it applies to your life. I know for a fact it absolutely applies to my life and all of the things that I've been having to quietly deal with, some things not so quietly. And as I saw that, I totally was like, okay, Mikey, Mikey, what does this mean? How, what? That's how the conversation went after I saw that video. And he was just like, your compassion has run out. All the ways in which you try and shield not yourself, but the people who do so much wrong to you. your ability to do so, to deprive them of the truth of the consequence of their choices has now been stripped from you. And I was like, oh, what? Mm. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what does that mean? And he says to me, that's no longer your concern. Mm. And I asked him, like, how much do you mean that? How much do you mean that? Because really, Pisceans especially, we're totally the type of people where we'll get angry and then we'll come up with this whole like yada da yada da what. But in reality, at the end of the day, we're totally like, they're just so dumb. I don't even care. So then it's like you continue to excuse away these behaviors, these attempts to harm you, these attempts to really derail your progress. And the conversation continued quite a bit further. That's why I'm live so early, because he woke me up so early to have these conversations. And in my attempt to ignore it, I decided to work on my skin. I decided to work on my skin, and I was just like, I don't care. Whatever you say, I don't care. And that brought it all home. That absolutely brought it all home. The corrections that are necessary, the corrections that are overdue. Mm, mm. Your guides are furious. Your guardians have been dispatched. They are released from whatever confinement that prevents them from interfering with your journey and your decisions. I'm not sure if you're aware of exactly how it works with your guardians and your guides. They are greatly limited in what they can do based on the level and the degree of interference. They are not allowed to interfere with your journey until now. I can't say I feel bad. I'm a bit in shock. I'm a bit in shock. But I can't say that I feel bad because it's nothing that I wished upon. I didn't wish any harm on anyone. And I realize my part in this is that I allowed the harm to continue to enter into my life. And I allowed that harm to be stockpiled in a little warehouse. And I kept that. I kept all of it because I didn't want to release it back into the world, because I know I have the capacity to hold on to all of the toxicity that people send to me. And in my show of compassion, something that's just an intrinsic part of who I am, how I am, I hold on to these things so no one else has to hurt because of these things. And now, whew, now it seems like what's happened is the guardians and the guides are fully armed with the most toxic of toxicities. And they will be passing them out to those that are still in line to deliver more malignancy to your door. The great correction has begun. This is not true only for me. This has been initiated globally, collectively. It is time to prepare yourself for massive changes within your life, because once this is initiated, it won't all happen at once, right? That's funny, Ben. Ben says trick or treat. That's hilarious because I actually one of my really good friends, I have identified years ago that really good friend of mine, she is one of the largest shards of Yeshua that I've ever come across. She lived as Jesus the Christ. That's one of her past lives. And she doesn't proclaim this. Whenever I would tell her, she would just be like, "Stop. You're being so silly." And yes, she was, even the year she was born, it was Easter. I was like, that's so cliche. But anyways, um she would have these cycles happening where she doesn't do anything to correct what's being done to her. She kind of just keeps accepting people's poor treatment. And then eventually her guardians and guides will go into active duty, and she'll just message me, "It's like Halloween up in here, passing out candy." And I was like, "Oh, shoot. Ooh, ooh, intercession." So that's a thing. We're having all of these different opportunities presented to us, and the people, the things, the attempts to prevent what is rightfully yours from reaching you, that's being removed. It's not something you are asking for. It is something that is now being allowed as part of the global collective correction, right? All right. So there are those who have been imagining that their invocation, their calling in of other things, other beings, malignancies, and energies, that they don't have to take responsibility for what they're doing. You absolutely are being held accountable for every decision. Woo! It's getting hyphy up in here. I'm just saying. Ooh. Oh. So here's the thing. I don't know why I saw this card and I'm totally like, daddy's coming home. um, uh, I don't know why I thought that, because my husband is home. So take that however it is you feel you need to take it. Daddy's coming home. There is this masculine energy that's coming towards you. Regardless of whether you are male or female, there is this masculine energy that is being released. It is a balanced masculine energy, the true definition of sacred masculine, right? So it's coming to do what it's created to do, which is protect and shield the feminine. Ooh, ooh, you gonna be wearing that, daddy, like a robe. I'm saying, draped over your shoulders and everything. I'm just saying. Let me turn down my Pisces a few notches. I find myself all like in my seat. Ooh, I'm saying. That's going to create an instability for those who have been working to destabilize you. That's going to create an instability for those who have been working ever so diligently to destabilize you, because they thought it was a joke. They thought. They didn't take into account that it was your grace and your mercy that has been shielding them from the consequences of their actions. I'm trying to find some shred of like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I don't. I don't feel bad. I'm curious. I'm not necessarily entertained. I'm not necessarily happy about it. I am super curious how this will play out. I am so very curious. Like, will you be able to witness that punishment? Because it's no longer discipline. It's full on, like, that masculine energy is like Punisher energy. Ooh. I'm saying. Ooh, I'm saying. Ooh. So let me just do something really quick. If you don't know if this applies to you, if you don't know whether or not you are favored by creation, and the reality is, many of us are favored by creation. Some of us are just so douche-tastic that no, you're not favored. You've been acting like a little shit your entire life. And so all that shit is blowing back onto you. So I want you to breathe very deep and very slow. Put your right hand on your chest, right over your heart. Just breathe. So I'm not doing any energy work. What I am doing is amplifying the frequency of the favor frequency. So it's this thing of I'm doing it for myself. And if you as well carry the favor frequency, you'll begin to feel it in your chest. It'll be very mild at first. This sense of like um almost like low grade excitement. Like a fullness in the chest. And almost like an excited calm. Mm. I am not picking and choosing who has this frequency. I'm simply amplifying my own favor frequency and using that situation and your exposure to it to amplify yours, because yours will respond to mine. How many of you feel it? Mhm. And it vibrates. It vibrates. It's just like it's almost like the feeling of falling in love. Mm. It's an amazing feeling. Has nothing to do with wanting to harm someone or another person suffering or people's potentialities being taken from them. Has nothing to do with anyone else. It's just it's inside you. It's just this feeling that lives in you that's just like, I don't know who, but someone loves me. That's what I call a favor frequency. You are one of the favored within creation. Mm. Mm. I love that feeling. I love that feeling. See, those who are favored by creation, we don't act like spoiled brats. We have a tendency to not just not harm other people, not, um, be retaliatory. We have a tendency to be super duper patient, accommodating. We have a tendency to be overgivers, over lovers. We have a tendency to overlove people who never deserved our love to begin with. And it doesn't even matter to us whether they deserve our love or not. Is kind of just thing like, I just have love for you. I have love for you. And I don't care if you deserve it. I just want you to feel okay, to feel safe. That's the favor frequency. There is something that's going to be corrected in your life. You will be the beneficiary of whatever that is. You will benefit from whatever this correction is, because the correction is now necessary. The correction is it's upon us. This eclipse, whatever was hidden will be brought to full light. That includes the ways in which you have made excuses for the people who don't deserve that type of leniency. These people will try to ignore what's happening. They will try so hard to pretend that they are not aware of what they did. We don't care if you're aware. Spirit is aware, and that's the only awareness that's necessary. I feel such a sense of closure and completeness. Hmm. The things that I've been having to deal with, I will no longer be forced to deal with. I want you to say that to yourself, silently or out loud. The things that I have quietly been forced to deal with, I will no longer be forced to deal with. Think of all the things that you have quietly endured. Think of every single one of them. I know you have a running tally in your mind of all the ways in which you've been hurt, betrayed, disrespected. Just because you don't say it out loud does not mean it never happened. You will no longer have to deal with those things. No longer having to deal with the energetic drain that some people serve. They serve that role in our lives to drain us. I was saying yesterday that I've come to realize how much of my energy I have allowed to be robbed from me by this violent stalker I've been dealing with. A stalker who believes in the justification of the maltreatment of women, whether it's physical maltreatment. I'd call it what it is, but I'd get more censored on YouTube. It's more than maltreatment. It's abuse. Yeah. For several years now, I've had to quietly deal with a stalker who has a history of DV. Mm, no more. Our protection is stripped away from the ones we have protected with our silence. I invite you to speak loudly. Speak loudly about the way you've been mistreated. Let others know. Use their name. When others find out, they feel so ashamed. As they should. As they should. Don't use their full name. Don't give them the full credit. Use only the first name to protect you legally, as well as to hold them accountable simultaneously. Speak loudly. Share your story. Share the truth of what's been done to you, how long it's been done to you. Speak loudly. Share your story. Serve as a survival manual for those who are still too afraid to share their story out loud. I will never, ever agree to any type of legal concession that requires I no longer speak about my life. I will not settle. I will not sign agreements. I will not agree to non-disclosure. My freedom is my voice. My power is the story of what I've overcome. Share your story. Share it out loud. Use their first name. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable with no fear. Share your story. Your voice is your freedom. Your story is your strength. Remember everything you've overcome because of what other people have done to you. You are not a victim. You are not a survivor. You are a badass motherfucker favored by Creator itself. It's time you begin properly identifying yourself. It's time that you begin really, truly seeing the reality of who and what you are. I am not going to be a byproduct of the maltreatment of Philip in Switzerland. Continue with your threats. I will no longer stay quiet. How does it feel to see me shine? Not because things have been resolved, but because I have a tenacity within me that refuses to be snuffed out. I'm not even wearing luminizers, nor am I wearing foundation. This is a glow of a woman entering back into her prime. There are consequences for behaviors. There are consequences for behaviors that are done willfully, knowing the laws that are being broken. There are consequences that will be administered by the people in the places of power to administer them. Enter into your place of peace. That place where you know, because you feel, the ways in which Creator, creation, and everything that exists within it is supporting you, protecting you, guiding you. If you felt the favor frequency, know that you didn't imagine that. Know that you truly are favored and that the correction is beginning. So, boundaries, containment, and foundation. The boundaries will be used to contain the bullshit. Boundaries, containment, and foundation. These boundaries have existed in your foundation. You just have not noticed it. You were too busy making excuses for people who didn't deserve that type of grace. That's fine. You're going to do it now. So, whoever this is, you, they will try and conceal their upside down ethos. They feel entitled to your energy. They feel entitled to you. Well, since we've talked about how they feel, what they feel, let's talk about what I feel for a moment. I don't give a fuck what you feel. That. I don't give a fuck what you feel you are entitled to. So there. This is doing nothing but initiating the correction. This realization that you might be having right now, this realization that you've allowed a lot of things to slide, and in that allowance, you created the space for the bullshit to amplify, right? You created the space for the BS to become more and more amplified. It's okay. You don't have to commit to a poor decision. It's not the wrong decision. It's a poorly made decision. That's it. There's a difference. It is not the wrong decision. You made a poor decision based on your level of compassion. They misunderstood what that compassion meant, right? They misunderstood what that compassion meant. And yeah, this right here, it feels like my soul is speaking through Ben. I'm at don't give a fuckity fuck stage. Me too. Scoot over, Ben. I'll sit beside you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know? I'm just saying. I know. Ben is extra today. I love it. High Priestess of air being communication. So allow yourself again to tell your story out loud. This is the most powerful suggestion I can make to all of you. When someone is maltreating you, document everything. Email that detail of whatever happened to a completely separate email account. And if it is a type of circumstance where you are in physical danger where you're at, you need to erase the email you sent from the email that the person knows about and empty your trash. Document everything. Do not delete anything. Not any text messages, not any, messenger messages. When they send you a messenger message, you screenshot that immediately and you file it away. You see, my stalker sent all these like really inappropriate messages via messenger. I screenshot everything. And then I got a notification recently. They had tried to delete everything. You can't delete what you've done. I literally screenshot everything. Do you guys know how hard it is to prove harassment? Not very hard when you have thousands upon thousands of files. Not very hard. Okay. The reason it's very difficult to prosecute harassment is because we have a tendency to delete everything. How are you going to prove what was done? Do not respond to anything. Keep records of everything. Everything. Set your social media profiles onto private so no one else can view it unless you know who they are. Set your settings so that nobody can message you unless you've approved them being on your profile. What I've learned in this, oftentimes our silence will be received by malignant people as our permission to continue the behaviors. Stay silent anyways. Keep gathering your evidence anyways. And no, this is not you setting them up. They could stop at any time. Stop with the gaslighting. If you are not responding to anything, That is not you setting them up. If in the last communication you said, do not message me ever again, that is not you setting them up. That is them continuing to behave in an entitled manner. Be smart in the way you deal with these people. Be very, very smart in the way that you deal with these people. They will tell themselves an entire story about you in their head. I've apparently been allegedly in a relationship with some random ass guy in Switzerland, and I'm just pretending to be married to my husband. The fucking insanity of it. The insanity of it. People will tell themselves stories. Don't be part of that process. Simply continue to gather and secure evidence of the treatment being forced upon you. When you finally had enough, gather all of that and go to the authorities. When you've made over 40 profiles to continue to force interaction with me on YouTube, that's fucking harassment. Willful criminal harassment. You didn't know? Oh, well, unfortunately, you emailed me and called me a bitch for deleting and blocking and banning all your profiles. You fucking admitted it was you. Your little tagline that you like to write in every fucking harassment post. There's no question it's you. The correction is going to happen. Not by your hands, you guys. This is out of your hands at this point. The correction has been greenlit by creation. This correction is going to go through to your core. You have to allow it. If you do not allow it, you're going to probably be dragged with that. Okay. It's not just the person that's going to be corrected. Your non-compliance with your soul greenlighting a correction is going to ensure that you experience a correction as well. I'm not willing to at this point. I'm not willing to go through that at this point. Right? I'm not willing to. And here's the thing. Here's another thing, because I've spoken to quite a few different lawyers about various types of things. When you tell the truth about what actually happened to you, it is factual. If what is coming out of your mouth is factual, not emotion laced potentialities of your interpretation of what could have happened. No, factual. That's not defamation of character. That's not mouth speech. That's not harassment. That's not any of that. It's you speaking openly about what you have lived through. These people, if they didn't want to be the villain in your story, they should have stopped behaving like one. See, they go after the people who are too ashamed and too afraid to speak openly about what's been done to them. They go after the people who stay in silence. Don't be a volunteer. Don't volunteer to be a receiver of that. And when you present yourself as someone who will stay silent, who will protect them with your silence, then they'll choose you to be what they fixate on. So, as a way to detract from the attention I'll receive from people who are like this, let me just say, I'm messy as fuck. I will speak about my life openly. If you don't want what you're doing to me privately to be publicly known, steer fucking clear of me. And no, the legislation that exists in the country I live in gives me the freedom of speech to speak factually about my life. Factually about my life. That is not illegal. So, if you want to fuck with me, we'll both be fucked. It's okay. It's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind being messy like that. It's okay. It's okay because I'm going to speak so fucking openly. I mean, that's what I do always. Speak openly about whatever comes to my mind. Step into your authenticity, my people. Step into your most authentic truth. Stop being ashamed of the things that have happened to you. It's that shame that exists that gives space for more and more people who are willing to behave this way towards you. It gives them the space to anchor into your life. Be authentic. Speak up. Allow your truth to be heard and witnessed by others. I'm not talking about creating a drama channel. I'm talking about speaking openly when you are so inclined. When there's already a conversation that's being had, and it's like, oh, you know what? My opinion comes from the life experience that I've lived because I've lived through this. You know what? This is what happened to me. And share that shit with no hesitation, no shame. No hesitation, no shame. None. Did you know in the United States, even if you sign an NDA, if your NDA is used to try and cover up the details of a criminal activity, that NDA is void. It is void. If you sign a contract under duress, meaning you do not understand the contents of that contract, you are being coerced into signing it under threat of harm. That is duress. Contract is void. Learn the basics of law in whatever country you live in. Learn the basics and use that knowledge to protect yourself. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be legally inclined. Learn the basics. Learn the basics, okay? You have to let go of this fear of coming out of your shell and letting others know what's been done to you. This fear of a risk, it's not a risk. It's not a risk because of the fact that you've already been continuously harmed due to your willingness to remain silent. It is not your fault. You did not deserve that. Speak openly. Speak openly. This is part of how we correct the atrocities of the world. Atrocities are able to continue to exist so long as the good people stay silent about it. So stop being silent. Stop being silent. Speak openly. Stop living in a space of denial of what's been done to you. Okay? There's a lot of stuff going on to try and derail your focus. No. Do not allow your focus to be derailed. No. No. You know exactly what you need to get done and why. High Priestess of Spirit, you're being promoted to the next level of consciousness. Wherever you're at, you're being promoted to the next level, the next layer of that consciousness. Allow, allow, allow. For some of us, it's hard to believe. We're in that space of denial, remember? And so we're not allowing ourselves to receive the message of the support that's being pushed out into creation. This support is for you. So for some of us, our emotions are upside down because we have this fear of letting go, right? Why are you afraid to let go? If it's because it's like, this is you love them, you've been in love with them. And no, I'm not talking about you, Philip, my stalker. I have no love for you. I'm talking about people who are in a relationship, a romantic relationship, and they're afraid to let go of that relationship, and their reasoning is because they love the person. You can continue to love them in that imbalanced way silently from afar. When someone does not show you love, if it's not reciprocated, you need to let go. You can still continue to feel that love that you feel silently from afar. Okay? You can still continue to feel the love that you feel silently from afar. For many of us, we think, well, I'm not yet done with this because I still feel love. Do you feel love, or is that ownership? Is that an ego based thing? Like, they don't treat you with love, but because there's another woman involved, just trying to have a quick example, because there's another woman involved, you don't want to be the one that lost out. Like, you were there first. So you're not going to let go of that relationship. So long as that other female is present, you're not going to let go because she's not going to get the best of you. You have to let go. You have to let go. Anything that hurts to hold on to must be let go of. So you have to let go. Okay? When there's no love there, and if you are in a monogamous relationship and they have chosen to not be monogamous without informing you of their decision for polygamy, a polygamous type relationship, then that's not love. That's not love. It's not. It's not love. Okay? Be fearless, but it's in reverse. So this is telling me that you're crippled by your fear of what will happen if you walk away. I'm here to tell you that's normal. It's normal to be afraid. It's normal to wonder, like, what will happen to me if I walk away from this relationship? Like, I love them. I put everything into this. It has to work. It has to work. And it's like, but honey, it's not working. I know you wanted it so badly. I'm not trying to be condescending. I know you wanted it so badly that you did everything you possibly could. You did everything you possibly could. But it's not working. And it's hurting you more and more. You are losing more and more of who you are. You deserve more than that. You deserve so much more than that. And if what you deserve is not being given to you by the person you've chosen, the person that you have selected to be the provider of that need, then you need to select someone else after you finish what you're doing with that. Okay? Compassion. You need to have compassion for yourself. You need to allow yourself to recognize the ways in which you have internalized the poor treatment, the gaslighting, all of these different things that you've endured, the mental and emotional maltreatment. When you're an empath, you are more susceptible to thought inception if you are not aware of your depth of empathy. Do you know what that means? When you are around someone who thinks badly of you, but you're not aware that you can read thoughts, that you can read feelings, you will then begin to feel that. And because you feel it and don't realize, you are an empath to that level of sensitivity, you will start to feel as though those are your thoughts. You will take ownership of that poor perception of yourself, and you'll start to believe it. And when they act that way towards you, when they lash out at you and you're already believing this, it serves as confirmation of what you believe. That's why you get so caught up in these situations. That's how you get so addicted to these cycles of poor treatment. You begin to believe their poor perception, their distorted belief that you deserve to be punished for being the amazing person you are. Really sit and think of it. Think of what you've lived through. Ask yourself, when did I begin to think this way about myself? Like, how did that even happen? I didn't used to be this way. Like, I didn't used to think of myself like this. I used to love myself. It's because you're an empath, an unrecognized, unacknowledged empath. You have been reading their thoughts for how long now and thinking they're your thoughts, and then their poor treatment of you unfortunately serves as confirmation for those thoughts. It's time for you to return to a space of compassion for yourself. It's time. What time is it right now? Is it 7:45? Like, I don't even fucking know what time it is. What time is it? What time is it? Like, I mean, Michelle, okay, what time is it in Pacific Standard Time? Because my phone, I don't know what time it is. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I think I might need to go. I'm not sure. I'm confused. This daylight savings time is just stupid. Okay. Anywho. So communication in reverse. You're not receiving the messages. Remember, the last card was messages in reverse. Communication in reverse. It's like this this refusal to hear, to accept what your soul is telling you. I know for some of you, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? What does this mean? I don't want the person to experience hardship. That's not up to you. That is up to the person. It is not up to you to dictate who and what will happen, what will happen to who. You can't dictate that. That's up to the person. And if the person wants to continue in the way that they're continuing, that's on them. For those of you who are just joining me, let me play this video again, because this video was like part of the confirmation of what I was being told by my soul. And that's what this reading is about. They kind of are holding hands.
I have a message for, this is actually a two-part message. For some of you, this is going to be a confirmation. And I just heard this is a plea for the others. You know.
Yep.
You know.
We know.
And they know you know.
Yes.
I just heard they were already busted. And somehow you either found out or you're gonna find out. This eclipse is gonna reveal some shit to you. We're in Scorpio season and it's gonna be like intense. I'm looking out my window at a street light and it's like a yellowy fluorescent light, but it's in the sign of like a cross. This person, they're about to be crucified for what they've done to you. My light just flashed. I don't know if you just saw that. And they so don't want you to know. But you already know. And they really want to know if you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here to tell you.
We know.
I know. We know.
We know.
We've already been shown by our guides and yours. You've been shown mercy by us. My right hand is like on fire right now, all through the thenar area. This pinky on the right hand, this is fear. This is fear. It is leaving my body. Should be leaving yours too. I can feel it in my thumb as well. Whatever you've been holding on to, drop that shit. It's a fucking hot potato. But back to the perpetrator. I hear you're being given one last chance to own up, to come clean, to admit your shit before you meet the wrath. The wrath of your maker. Your undoing. Your own undoing. I hear judgment's been called. It's over for you. If you're not already locked up or in purgatory, I heard pack a bag. I send whoever this is love and compassion, because if you came against a divine one, you have no idea what's coming for you.
There's no more need for you to continue to try and hide and protect people who have maligned you, who have maltreated you, who continue to speak against you for no reason other than because you exist, and the light of your truth irritates their demons. Their demons can be as irate as they want to be. You will not fall. You will not falter. And I think for some of us, we have to understand that the demon whores of the world are used as Trojans to try and enter your space in order to induce a fall within you. You will not fall. You are a favorite of creation. Not everyone is. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to feel badly for those who are not favored by creation. You didn't demote them to that space. They and their behaviors did. It was not you. You did not do anything to deserve the way you were treated. You did not initiate it. The reality is this. Some people will try and convince you that you deserve that treatment because you're annoying. The fact is this. They could have left, but they didn't. You didn't deserve the way you were treated. You didn't deserve anything they did. Well, Emmy, if that's true, I could have left too. Yeah, no. No, you couldn't have, because you were in the process of being manipulated into believing that you are a bad person. And if you leave, then you are abandoning them. And that's further evidence of you being a horrible person. Kindly stop. The emotional manipulation, does not work here. It doesn't. I see right through it. I see when people try and use the innocent ones to manipulate me. I can see right through it. I can see when people use those who I would have elevated compassion for as a very shield to hide behind. No, 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 you cannot. You cannot hide behind the innocent ones and expect me to not notice. I see everything. The time for stillness is gone. It is now time for action. It is now time for you to begin reclaiming, just really, really reclaiming who you are, who you were before you were convinced that you're not. Again, there's this potentiality that you believe what you believe about yourself because of the environment you've been in. As an empath who does not realize they're an empath, you can feel the thoughts people have about you. You can feel it. And if you're not aware of your depth of empathy and the level of sensitivity of that, you will very easily believe those are your thoughts about yourself. No more. It's time for you to change what you believe. You are a phoenix on the rise, and there is no rule that stipulates the only ashes you rise from are your own. I highly recommend burning the bridges and using those ashes to rise from. And may the fires you light along the way illuminate your path back home to yourself. Yes. I've been advised by several people through the time that I've been publicly visible. I was advised by several people of how to exponentially grow my audience, right? They advised me to not cut anyone off, do not ban anyone, just, let all of it ride and just ignore it all. Don't acknowledge it. Just let the analytics keep riding, keep it going, keep it going. When a business association is no longer viable, you don't burn that bridge, you leave it open because you never know if you can use them again later. So you know what I did. The exact opposite of everything they told me. You're going to be disrespectful, you're banned. You're going to be intolerant of my people, my community, you're banned. Our business dealings fell through because you're lacking integrity. Bridge is burned. It's burned. Because see, I'm not a user of people. I'm not going to keep you in my back pocket just in case you might be a benefit for me later. Because you know what ends up happening? When you continue to have access to me and there's misalignment there, there's lack of integrity there, I begin to siphon that. I begin to pull that into myself. And I begin to lower a reflection of who I actually am. I begin to be you. I'm good. I actually like who I am. I don't think I'm better than others, but I do greatly enjoy the person that I am at this point. Your environment absolutely matters. Yes. Your environment matters so much because you end up becoming the people in your environment. Excuse me. I only keep certain types of people in my environment, my personal and my public. And it's not discrimination. No, it's discernment. Discernment. I will only keep people around me who are healthy for me. Because at the end of the day, at the start and the end of the live stream, I'm still a human being. a human being with a very real need to maintain and preserve my internal peace. So, no, if your energy disrupts my peace, you are not attacked. You are simply removed. Because again, at the start and the end of the live stream, I am a human being with real needs. And my loyalty must first be to myself and my peace. So, this unconditional love card, you need to begin entering into a space of unconditional love for yourself. You have not made mistakes. You have simply made poor decisions that have led to profound, profound, profound opportunities to learn. Exponential growth and learning is what you have chosen. So learn and grow and allow yourself to rise above the mud in the pond. You might be a lotus and excel, thrive in that murky, muddy water. But if you are a lotus, you float on top of it, not sink into it. So let your mind kind of, just really, really consider these things, okay? Let your mind consider how much you have not protected yourself, how much you have not taken care of yourself, all in exchange for someone else's validation, for someone else's permission to exist. Ah. You don't need their permission. The only thing who needed to give you permission to exist has already co-signed your existence. Mhm. I mean, I like to tell people sometimes, if you have a problem with my existence and who I am as a person, you probably should schedule a meeting with God and take it up with God, because I was intentionally designed, intentionally created to function in the way that I do. So if you have an issue with that, take it to the big guy. I don't have the authority to change my most authentic parts. That is what it is. So if you got a problem with it, make an appointment with God's office and talk to God directly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think Lindsay has the number for God. 1-800 call God. Hold on. I'll put it on the screen just for people. There you go. There's the number. Okay. All right. There you go. 1-800 call God. If you have an issue, call God directly, because it's none of my business. It's none of my business. There you go. Okay. The shadow self in reverse. For many of us, we get so upside down in this shadow aspect of who we are because we think, oh, these are the parts of me that I have to kill. These are the parts of me that I should be ashamed of, that I should never let anyone see, and all of it. No, this my lips aren't big enough to do it today. That's what I think about that. Your shadow contains all of your most powerful components. It's not that you are not allowed to have those aspects of yourself. Those are the parts of you you've rejected because someone in your environment was uncomfortable with the witnessing of your personal power. Mhm. Yep. So then you stashed it away because you are oh so very, very considerate. And yeah, no, that's for you. That's for you. It's time to move forward. Okay. Move forward within your journey, within your space. That sacred journey might seem upside down, but I promise you it's not. Sacred journeys are non directional. Yeah. When you try and plan the direction, when you try and pre plot the spaces that you'll exist within, that goes from sacred and into a space of human constructs, right? So journey has no direction, there is no path. I know someone that I knew in the past was like, I hate to correct you, Emmy, but the path of soul is a well-worn path. So then you're just doing the same stupid shit over and over and over again. Do you know how long it takes? Create a well-worn path? How many times you have to walk in circles? That's why you suffer. That's why you suffer. You continue on the same path that has caused you to suffer, thinking you're on the right path. You want to know what my path is? My sacred spiritual path is a wilderness. No one has ever traveled it before me. It is a plot of wilderness that has been gifted to me by creation itself to explore, to tend to invite other living things to explore with me. There is no path on my sacred journey. I follow behind no one. But I mean, you know, it does sound good and romantic and everything when we say the path of soul is a well-worn path. Yeah, okay. You happy with life? Because I mean, if you're really truly happy with life, that's a beautiful, well-worn path. Keep walking in that circle. I mean, you're probably not going to grow because it's the same fucking circle. You're not going to see anything new, but at least you're happy, right? That's my logic. But if you're unhappy, stop with that bullshit. I'm serious. Stop with the bullshit. Walk a different path. Get off the path. It keeps taking you around to the same shit that makes you miserable. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I said it. I said what I said. That's what I'm saying. All right. If you don't observe, you will not overcome. If you don't observe, you will not overcome. I would like for you to overcome the things that you didn't think you could overcome. If I may share, one of the things I love the most about being a professor of quantum sciences, quantum Kelanta, whenever I get a new student that just does not believe in themselves, someone who's like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and they're just so convinced. I mean, yeah, maybe at first I'll be irritated, like, just quit. Like, I don't want to hear what you cannot do. I want you to show me what you can. Like, stop. And, but I typically don't say that. I typically am just like, and who told you this? Who said you can't? And they'll go through their story of why they believe they can't do it. And I'm just like, you will. You'll do it. Don't worry. Just give it enough time. Eventually, you'll get bored of this lie you're telling yourself. And then you'll begin to allow yourself to see. And then you'll see. And then at some point, what you'll witness is me squealing because I'm like, I'm so proud of you. See, you can do it. I told you. And that's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. When you find yourself. And what you find when you find yourself is that I was telling you the truth the whole time. You are so unbelievably powerful and skilled, a gift unto this world. And now you know, so you can serve your purpose and be the gift that you are. That's my favorite part. I've had plenty of students have these realizations where they're like, I can't scan, I can't scan, I can't scan. X amount of time later, they're like extremely skilled at scanning. Y'all, if you think I'm the only one that can do the things that I do, the things you see me do on live streams, I have an entire academy of people who can do what I do. How do I know? Because I taught them. I taught them. I taught them how to tap into their potential and use it with the highest levels of integrity and grace, responsibility, and sovereign power. Like, it's a very beautiful thing. Very, very, very beautiful thing. Growth in reverse. Sometimes the growth has to first occur in the roots, going downwards, deeper into your truth, before the tree could ever launch upwards towards the sky. The tallest trees will have roots just as deep and profound, right? Ancestral magic. So there's something deep inside you. This is part of your roots. Your roots go very, very deep, and your ancestors have developed certain skill sets, have developed certain types of knowledge that give you an edge over other people. Now, you don't use this edge to take advantage of other people. Edge that you have over someone else makes you better suited to assist, to facilitate. Your guardians have been dispatched. As you begin to understand the gravity of that statement, you'll begin to realize much of your energy was going towards maintaining toxicity. And when you no longer have to maintain that toxicity, more of that energy will go towards your development. You're going to grow exponentially. I'm excited for all of us. I am so excited for the day where all of us no longer have to deal with the caca that we consistently deal with, because we have been erroneous in our belief that that is what we deserve and that is all life actually is. That's not all life is. That is not all life is. Right? That is not all life is. So, rejuvenation sigil in reverse. Part of our problem is we don't allow ourselves to become rejuvenated. The people who we give to tend to be kind of bottomless pit type people. And so, no matter how much you give, it's not going to be enough. And then we also have a select few people in our lives who are givers just like us. And the problem is it's not that the problem is they don't give to us or that they don't give enough. The problem is we don't allow ourselves to receive. And Yaya, are you here? Well, wait. Ocean, wait. If you are here, Michael asked me to ask if you're here, and then it dawned on me what he was trying to say. It's just like, I sure am. Are you here? Girl, I'm saying, I feel like Michael called out. I think he's calling both of us out. It's Michael for you. So, renewal, allowing yourself to be renewed, right? Allowing reversal of this lack of rejuvenation, allowing yourself to be renewed by rejuvenation through receiving, right? I know. Look at this. This a me and you club, boo. we be arguing. Yeah, I'm gonna snitch us both out. We be arguing about who gets to give and who has to receive. You know. And I'm just like, listen. We both Sigmas. We both don't give a shit. We will die together on this hill. And I said to her the other day, I was like, do you want to carpool to the graveyard? Because I'm not giving in. You're not giving in. We gonna die together. We can just carpool to the graveyard. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When we allow ourselves to be renewed by receiving, and that was a real conversation, accurate. Accurate. Okay. It was like I quoted it. She's trying to negotiate with me. I will take the water home. I don't give a shit what you take home. You're also taking that home, that thing that I'm telling you to take home. Yeah, no. Yo, it was hilarious. And I was just like, we gonna see. We both Sigmas. Her and I are both Sigma, so we really don't care. Just threaten whatever you threaten. I don't care. She don't care. I was like, I'm gonna sit here, mind my business. You keep negotiating with yourself. I was like, I'm not negotiating with you. I'm giving what I'm giving. That's not up for negotiation. Okay. It's funny though. It's funny having to deal with myself outside of myself. Yeah, no, we're just like, no, we carpool to the graveyard. It's fine. Okay. Shedding cycle. It's in reverse. You're trying to continue to hold on to the parts of your personality, your character that are no longer appropriate for where your life is taking you. So it's like a snake being afraid of shedding its skin. That's how you know the snake is growing. The snake has to shed the skin. And maybe that's not the best example because people will be like, "Oh my god, she's saying I'm a snake." No, I'm not saying you're a snake. Okay, I mean, what else can we use as an example? You want me to use a skinwalker? A skinwalker shedding its skin so that it can be bigger in some other shape. I mean, I don't know, but you need to shed that part of you that's so committed to not allowing your growth and expansion. Let go of that part. Let go of that part. Okay, here's a good way for me to do this. Um, life is showing me something, okay? Life is showing me something right now. And the thing that life is showing me, I'm nervous to share this. Life is showing me that our breads for the soul work synergistics for the ministry, this is how we're raising funds to begin the process of creating programs for disadvantaged people. It takes money to do that, so we need to raise the funds, and we've been selling bread to do this. Life is telling me that we are going to be entering into a period where I will need to really look into the mass production of these gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, grain-free paleo breads. That's going to take a considerable investment. I'm nervous. I am going to create a fundraiser so that we can raise those funds and I can begin speaking to manufacturers who are in alignment with my specific standards of production, meaning no sharing of the production equipment with any grains, any type of grain products that they produce, like dedicated. It has to be dedicated because I don't want cross contamination. So I'm going to create a link at some point today. I will share it on the live stream for the eclipse. I haven't spoken to my team about this. It's time. It's time. We've come across quite a few people who have served as confirmation of what needs to happen next. It needs to happen because we need to get to the proper place where we can most effectively, most efficiently, most powerfully begin supporting our community on a consistent basis. I don't like asking you guys for donations because I know all of you guys are also in a position, possible financial destabilization. I mean, all of us are. Everyone is. Everyone. But it's this thing of, again, what we do for our community must be built by our community, right? Right? And that's why I didn't launch another business. What I launched was a ministry, a church, a 508c1a, a free church, a church that is separate from state, from federal, a church that is protected by constitutional law, acknowledged by IRS tax code. And because of the structure of what I've chosen, no one person can own it. That's intentional. Because it's for all of us. And all the effort we're putting into making this happen, there's no option of failure. There's not even an option of delayed success. We push forward as hard as we can, as quickly as our legs can take us. And together we continue to rise. Together we'll continue to build what needs to be built, and we'll continue to support each other. You guys are such a huge source of inspiration for me. You really, really are. You are. You really, really are. For several years now, you guys have shown me beyond a shadow of a doubt that the days of me feeling alone in my journey, those are gone. They're gone. There's no way I could ever possibly return to this space of believing I'm alone and that no one understands. Those days are gone. And I hope that all the effort that we're doing behind the scenes, and I'm going to be very clear, I'm going to disclose information. There has been a lot of developments behind the scenes, a lot of progress being made with establishing our presence, creating the connections, creating opportunities for more people to be exposed to the good things we create. I am unable to share it with all of you, my online family, my community, my biggest supporters, because of my stalker from Switzerland. The progress of our development is delayed because I always have to keep in mind, I don't know how crazy this person is. I'm talking about certifiably insane. So I can't say where they are. I can't say where my team is going to sell the breads. I can't tell you guys, my biggest supporters, where I'll be on what day so I can hang out with you and you can come and visit, hang out with me. I can't even tell people where we're going to be so that we can have volunteers to help us. Because I don't know if this man will show up and harm my community. But you know what? That's still not going to stop us. It's still not going to stop us. That's why my guides are furious. My guardians have been dispatched. Correction is imminent. And whatever way that correction needs to take place, it will take place. That's why I don't share anything with you guys. That's why no events are allowed to advertise us. None. Have you noticed there are no additional posts, no new posts on our Facebook page, on any of my social media pages? None. The time for us to take our power back is here. It is now. It is now. And that's what this reading is a confirmation of. Fire will be cleansed. The fire will be used to cleanse. Let that fire begin with your doubt. Let it burn up all the doubt you have left inside you so that you can take the appropriate steps with head held high. Right? It's time to let go of your feelings regarding the betrayals that have occurred. That is not for you to continue to carry with you anymore. It's time to let that go. Your life will continue to progress. You will continue to make progress. You will continue. Choose carefully what you're going to continue with. If what you're going to continue with is nothing but the same old cycles of having to hide away, having to not allow yourself to share the goodness that's happening, like, and I keep having these conversations with myself of, girl, do you know how many people are waiting? Do you know what they're waiting? You know how long they've been waiting? They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. And as of more recently, past maybe 2-3 days, after another development of something that I can't share publicly yet, I find myself changing the wording to I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm being patient, but I'm waiting. I'm eagerly awaiting to get through the things that I need to get through. They're not bad things, but I'm eagerly awaiting this. I'm waiting. So part of the thing that I was doing quietly that I can share with you guys. If you guys noticed, we've been talking a little bit about my personal Moldavite now being available. I was trying to raise the funds quietly to do the mass production of the bread so we can begin to be carried in major stores, major health food chains. You can find on my website, I have crystals available. Those are being sold through the emmyevolving.com website. I'm using my personal funds to fund things. So if you are eager to assist with the production, thank you, Lindsay. I am letting go of more of my crystals. Right now, I found the box of Moldavite. You guys have no idea how much crystals I have. A lot. Literally a lot. So I'll have those available. I have a couple on the website, and I have, I want to say about 15 or maybe 30. I think over 30 raw pieces of Moldavite, you know? I would love as a nonprofit to be able to produce the grain-free breads, mass production of grain-free breads that have no preservatives in them. They're completely all natural, and be able to gain a contract with school districts. I would love that. I would love that. I would love to be able to go ahead and provide battered women's shelter with snacks for the kids, grain-free snacks. Yeah, I would love that. I feel a shift. I feel a change. I feel a change that's happening within the collective whole right now. A change that's making space. It's a type of space that only the most divine could occupy. I hope you guys feel that change as well. And I hope you experience that change within your life and see the benefits of it for your personal journey. Sometimes change is strictly for the collective whole. Most times, that change that's for the collective whole is for the collective whole because it's going to change your personal journey. Each of us, our personal journey shifted. Yeah, it feels like a huge door has not just opened, but the path is being paved beyond the door. Soon, soon. It is my dream and my goal to very, very soon be in a position of safety, to agree that I can share with all of you exactly where to find us. Soon. And I want you guys to know you made that possibility for me very, very soon. Very soon. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Galactic assistance is coming. Okay. This galactic assistance may also come in the form of celestial assistance. There are those who are trying to stop the change that is inevitable. There's only one thing guaranteed in life: change is inevitable. Let's get one final card. You know, if any of you know any individuals or corporations who would be interested in investing, um, if any of you are well versed in Kickstarter, I don't want to go funny. It doesn't feel like it's something that is in alignment with what we're trying to do and what we're trying to raise funds for. But if any of you know anyone who would be a good source of information and guidance for me and my team as we embark on this part of our journey. I mean, we have had such a phenomenal response to the breads, such a phenomenal response. Phenomenal response. So if you know anyone, I'm more than willing to meet up for a meeting, an investor meeting. All of that good stuff. I'm finally putting my business hat on. And I'm really focused on pushing all of this forward. I'm tired of our community waiting. I'm tired of it. There's nothing I want more than to really make this happen already. I don't know what that even means. I don't know what I'm trying to make happen outside of having the ability to be even more supportive for our community members who are in need of help. But I'm anxious. I'm anxious to get this going even further. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to meetings. Yes, we make them from scratch and fresh. So when an order comes in, we go ahead and make the breads. We don't keep them stored. They're freshly baked breads, and you gotta get them fresh. Let me see. There was Lindsay had put the link earlier. Excuse me. But the breads are on the Soulwork Synergistic website. So it's processed differently from the Emmy Evolving website because it's not an Emmy Evolving project. It's strictly to support Soulwork Synergistics, which is the ministry, the nonprofit that we have created. It's strictly nonprofit funds. Whatever you guys purchase from the Soulwork Synergistic website, from the soulsanctuary.love website, that is earmarked strictly for the nonprofit. Whatever we need to do, supplies, whatever that is, that's what that's earmarked for. So the things that you purchase from emmyevolving.com, that's my personal business. And I do use my personal business to supplement some of the things that we need for the nonprofit. I go ahead and I just donate it. So either way, you're supporting the nonprofit. Anything that runs through me goes towards nonprofit. So card number 42, Dance of the Divine Feminine. Ooh. She's finding her rhythm and preparing to dance. Ooh. 4 is the number of self, 2 is the number of guidance. 4 plus 2 is 6, the number of receiving. You're needing to guide yourself into a space of receiving the very things you deserve. Your guides are furious. Your guardians have been dispatched. Things are being corrected, and you need to allow it. Allow it to be corrected. Allow this to occur. If a tree could move from one place to another, it would not suffer the pain of the saw or the oppressive wounds. If the sun and the moon stood still like the rocks, they could not offer brilliance. How bitter the taste of water would be if the river stopped its flow, remaining still like seawater. When the seawater rises to become a cloud, it loses its bitterness and pours a rain of sweetness. I have given you only a few examples. You can figure out the rest. Break away from the self and enter the kingdom of love. How can your feet bear to be still when the music is so lush and inviting? How can you hold yourself back from the tide of love when the horizon looms so vast and exciting? How can you arch your back and respond with ecstasy to the lover's touch, saying in absolute submission, yes, more. You are made to move and grow, to love and flow. Even mountains change. Surrender the stodgy ways of the mind and become willing to dance to the great orchestration of love. You may feel unsettled, beloved, as though the ground beneath you is not so solid. You may touch to see it isn't moving. Of course, it's hurtling through the sky, spinning, tilted on its axis. It's amazing you aren't passed out on the floor in utter dizziness. Yet you stand there, imagining you have a choice of not moving. What funny foolishness. Let us laugh about it together. How can you even imagine it? Only through some misplaced fear. It's such a small craziness, really. You can cast it off, that small crazy fear. Let it return to the earth mother to become fertilizer for the far grander and more exciting insanity of divine love instead. Give up that tiny insanity in favor of the greater craziness of love. You cannot be unmoved by it. The rhythm of life will get you shaking your hips eventually. How could you not become entranced by the gleaming dance floor, shimmering with possibility and invitation? This oracle comes to you with guidance. Your life may feel as though it's being tipped upside down. Perhaps you feel as though the great beloved, in a feisty mood, has grabbed your ankles, is holding you upside down and shaking you wildly over your head, or the pockets of your pants become freed of their contents. Keys and wallet drop into the floor in disarray. Your hair is messy, your bottom is in the air, and your sense of orientation is nowhere to be found. Blood is rushing to your head, and goodness knows you just want to be put down, to have a moment to come to your senses. So the beloved will give you that gift, but don't imagine it will last for too long. The great beloved esteems you capable of so much more than being sure footed and sensible. You are capable of more whirling and stumbling while inspired by the music of the spheres. If you just accept the invitation to dance, there won't be so much roughhousing going on. It won't be needed because your hair will already be in a mess. Your blood will already be pumping, and you'll be sweating, laughing, smiling, and dancing. The great beloved will be alive in you, which is all that grand seducer ever wanted in the first place, even with all the jokes and the horseplay. Disarrayed and disheveled by the divine beloved, you are able to break out of a too ordinary world. You will explore the delightful consequences of rocked boats and upset apple carts, being swept away by love as you dare to dream bolder and wilder dreams for yourself as well as for the world. There is bigger magic for you to weave in this lifetime. Prosaic priorities inherited from the world are stuff and nonsense. It is the priorities of the heart that matter to you. If you are ever to right yourself while the beloved is tipping you upside down, like a soaring bird in most impressive aerial dynamics, it will be through establishing right priorities, the priorities of your own heart. So you ask your heart what matters most and attend to that. Soon you'll be able to find your orientation, even if everything you have once held on to appears to be shimmering and insubstantial, a mere dance of light rather than solid ground. This will become so easy for you because your orientation will flow from within, from the heart, and no matter what shifts and changes take place around you, your center will remain strong. This is what the beloved wants for you. Such peace and relief it shall bring you, but perhaps some shaking about is required first in case you're reluctant to give up some mainstays, unaware of how much they drain life away from your heart center. This oracle brings you this message also. There is something you are holding on to, a person, a place, a thing, a belief, a vision, and you need to let it go because it wants to grow. It may grow and change into something utterly different, or it may grow into exactly what you are imagining. Whichever outcome, growth is happening, and you'll find you enjoy the way much more with greater flow and support and less bashing of your head against a proverbial brick wall, if you can let it happen. Don't worry if it seems as though your world is coming to an end or you're losing something you once loved. This is just the shaking about of the great beloved to lead you into a deeper, sweeter dance of divine being and becoming. Put your focus into your heart and realize you are more ready than you think. Now shake those hips, stamp those feet, close your eyes and clap your hands. There, that's better already. I love that. I love the acknowledgement of you not realizing just how ready you are for the greatness that you were designed to fulfill. Mm. This song comes to my mind, and it's like your destiny is singing it to you. So the words go, ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. I'm gonna find you and make you want me, ready or not. Yeah, ready or not, your destiny's coming. It's gonna find you and it's gonna make you want it as much as it wants you. This is inevitable. It is not a person, it is a purpose. A person could never be your destiny. They can be a component of something you experience within your grand design. But a person is never your destiny. Your destiny is your purpose. The reason you exist, it's looking for you. And it will find you. And it will ensure you want it as much as it wants you. I'd say that's fair. Dear destiny, come and find me because I've been waiting for your bitch ass to arrive. Guys, right. I hear Lauryn Hill too. So guys, I'm going to be live later today, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to do that blood moon lunar eclipse live stream. I'm going to be doing energy work. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. Come join me, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. Excuse me. I'll see you guys there. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. If you haven't already tried our breads, please go check it out. Go check out our bread. Make sure that let me find the link. Make sure that you at least try one. So Ocean Lover's favorite is apple. Y'all already know that. My favorite, y'all, I have 3 favorites. I'm just saying. I do love apple too, but my favorites are first and foremost fairy berry with a citrus glaze. And then I also love the vegan yummers because it effing tastes, thank you, Lindsay. It effing tastes like Krispy Kreme to me, but it's vegan and it's grain free. What? It has a glaze on it that tastes like Krispy Kreme. And then I also, when I'm feeling like spicy, I also super duper love the jalapeno bread. That one, you guys, you can get a personal size and then cut that in half, like lengthwise, and use that as pizza crust. You can even use the whole loaf if you want. What I've done with loaf is I cut it into slices and I put it on the baking sheet. Y'all are getting all my secrets right now. And then I put all of my pizza toppings on there. And then I turn it into pizza bread. It is so damn good. Like we be fighting over it. I'm not even going to joke. Yeah. So the last event that my board members did, they sold out of the vegan yummers, and these are recipes that I have for my children, right? And so my kids who can't have all the other breads because they have the nut issues, they can only have the vegan yummers. That's the batter that I use for their birthday cakes. They can't have anything else. And so they pulled me aside and they were like, "Oh my God, why did you let it sell out?" Like, that's the goal, to sell out. They were upset with me. They were like, "You let them buy it all, mommy?" I'm sorry. They bought it all. There's none left. There's no vegan yummers left. Yeah, all the breads are really, really yummy. Really, really yummy. I love all of them. But those three are my all-time favorite. Let's be real here. I eat all of the bread. I don't share it. I eat all of it. I don't even care if there's any left over after events. Um, I eat them all. And if one of my kids goes to heat up bread in the microwave or toaster, the fryer, if I find it, if they've left the kitchen and I find it, I will eat it. I will eat it, and then they'll come in the kitchen and be like, "But that was my bread. Oh, sorry." What? I didn't know. I didn't know. She didn't tell me that it was for you. I will eat it because, I'm your mom. You have to share with me. They don't like it when I do that, so I don't leave your bread unattended. That's the rule. I gotta go, guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. I will see you guys later today, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here, YouTube and Facebook. I'll be doing energy work. If you haven't seen me do energy work before, go check out last night's live stream. I'm not good with dates. I told you I'm mentally messy sometimes. And so I ended up just doing completely free energy work and readings last night. Go check it out. You'll like it. Join me today, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope everyone has an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Bye, everyone.